Was the pink guy theory right? No. But I really do like the idea and concept that there being two killers in Five Nights at Freddy's, especially if that second killer was Steve Raglan. So this theory definitely heavily relies on the FNaF movie. And to be fair, we do know that Mike does work at the original MCI Freddy's with Year the Band. And then, there's the Secret of the Mimic Freddy's, which we don't know much about. But we would know, a little bit about it if the movie was canon. Not fully. Just some little things, like Mike working at a mall and then getting fired, or Jeremy Fitzgerald's full name being Jeremiah, and, just smaller things like that. And one of these smaller things could be Steve Raglan, since Mike Schmidt from the movie didn't know about the MCI or Freddy's, even though Freddy's was, really popular. The Freddy's the game Mike would have worked at can't be the MCI Freddy's. Mike would know about that one. But if it was the Secret of the Mimic Freddy's, which closed down possibly a different MCI, then Mike not knowing about the 85 version of Freddy's would make a lot more sense than, Mike not knowing about the 85 MCI or not knowing about that version of Freddy's. I mean, he lived pretty close to it. He would have to know about it since Into the Pit says Freddy's is the place to be, or Fazbear's is the place to be. So Mike would definitely know about the 85 MCI Freddy's. But if a Freddy's opened and closed in the early 80s farther away from where Mike lives, not in Hurricane or, not in Utah, then it's much more plausible that Mike didn't know about that Freddy's. And let's not forget that Mike and the movie Mike are really similar, obviously. But honestly, both Mikes have trauma with their brothers, and both had to deal with a younger sister, and both of them worked at a Freddy's. Although, Game Mike got paid. But Game Mike working at Secret of the Mimic Freddy's isn't that outrageous. And Steve being another killer isn't that outrageous either. It doesn't change established things or anything. It just means that there was another killer and that he died when Mike was working at that Secret of the Mimic Freddy's. The only problem is the children and kids that possess the animatronics, which it isn't that big of a problem. It just really matters about their name. But in the novel version of the movie, the kids' names are never said or talked about. And they aren't even talked about in the movie either. So, really, it's not really that big of a deal. And that was the theory. I really wanted to do this one. So, just remember it's a theory. Anything's plausible, technically. But, yeah, Happy New Year, even though that was 2 days ago.